Old Town Casino, where you'll get the most bang for your bucks. Top-notch gaming action, superior dining at Calico Cafe, and impeccable service. You'll never want to leave. With surprises in store every day, why go anywhere else? All here at the Old Town Casino.
Late Thursday afternoon, we were dispatched a report of a structure fire. In the initial stages, it was unknown exactly where the fire was. There was multiple callers they saw from their viewpoints, so it was in the area of North David and Shady. Fire ended up being on a structure on North David. It was a detached two-car garage with an additional storage building and also a wood shop.
And this fire started how?
The fire was actually accidental in nature. However, it was from an unattended controlled burn that had been conducted earlier in the day. And unfortunately, the owner left it. It was still warm. It grew in intensity, and a neighbor actually observed it extending from that pile along some loose material and directly to the attached garage.
Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene. It was pretty involved by the point that they noticed it?
It was interesting conditions because, ordinarily we get to a fire, we observe the smoke conditions in the fire. We had very dark, almost pressurized smoke presenting from the structure, and obviously fire showing from the area of the roof on the gable vents. But our investigation at the end revealed that, in fact, they had an overabundance of property stored within the building, most of it in plastic containers. So those containers, the more and more they became involved, it was compartmentized to a certain degree, adding to the pressure and to the intensity of the fire. Immediate concerns were a propane tank, several other additional structure exposures, including the primary dwelling, and also a well house, and also the personal van that was parked in the driveway immediately in front of the garage. The Sheriff's Office assisted us removing that vehicle, so there was no extension to those exposures, but there's significant damage to the inside back wall of that fire.
And no other vehicles inside the garage?
No other vehicles.
So no extensions to the main residence, though, either?
Correct. It was still completely could be occupied. There was no extension to it whatsoever.
What's some advice that you have for people out there with these controlled burns?
It comes back to the basics. That's it intended under the ordinance is to make sure it's unattended, make sure it's cool if you're going to leave the area, make sure it's completely extinguished. If that had happened the day before when those winds kicked up, I couldn't tell you that the exposure structures wouldn't have been involved upon our arrival.
And then there was a report that it rekindled the next morning, but what happened actually?
It actually wasn't a rekindle of the structure fire at all. It was actually, there was still some smoke smoldering from that large pile that had been burned the day before. It was just a matter of the crews going in and applying some additional water to that area.
For more information on how to conduct these controlled burns, to get your permits, call the fire department.
Absolutely. Contact their station, number one, and talk to either Jennifer or to the on-duty lieutenant, and it'll give you any direction you might need.